Hi, this is a very brief introduction to using Shepards on Lexis. What Shepards is, it's a citator. It tells you if the material that you found, if the case that you're looking at, for example, is still good. Has anything else happened to it? Is there any history behind it? Has it been used in other materials? Have other cases cited it? And if so, have they built upon it? Have they distinguished it in some way or used it as very strong precedent? You can also use it to find other materials that might have cited this material. If you're looking at a case, for example, what you may find is that it's been cited in some law review articles that explain it. Some practice guides may have talked about it. You'll get the citations to those as well. Using Shepards on Lexis is very easy. When you come up with a case in your search, or other material in your search, not just cases, but when you come up with something that you want to use, look at the bar that appears on top of the case. You've got several things listed here. One of them is document, so that you can always get right back to this particular case if you're looking at any of the other things in this bar. You've got citing decisions. There are 3 of them, and those are the cases that actually cite this Damon versus State case and use it in some way. You've got other citing sources. There are 9 of these, and what those do is cite it as analysis or as something that sets out a rule maybe that they want to use. It may have been cited in law review articles dealing with the same topics as this case, and you may want to look at those. You have the history of the case as well, which only has 2 elements to it, and you have the table of authorities, which gives you a list of what has been cited within this case, so that if you wanted to take those and then look those up because they were used in Damon and you think Damon is a good case, you can do that easily. This is what happens when you click on Citing Decisions. You've got 3 cases that cite Damon versus State, the first one being Spry versus State. You have a bar next to it, and you can think of this as the power bar that you would get, for example, with your phone. If you have a 4-bar case, 4 of those listed or shown, what that would mean is that your case is analyzed to a great extent, applied to a great extent, or discussed a lot in that case. Here, the Damon case has 3 bars, and what that means is that it's relied upon in this case. It's probably discussed to some extent, but not in a major way. It isn't relied on as much as it would be in a 4-bar case. It tells you a little bit about the case. This is a 2nd District Court of Appeals case from 2007, and you'll see some other things there, including the cite back to the Damon case and also cites to other cases along with Damon, Adams versus State, Melton versus State, and some others. You also have a thing that says Other Citing Sources, and that will give you secondary sources maybe that have cited yours. That's right next to Citing Decisions. And then here you have the history of the case. The history of the case tells you exactly what has happened. Did it go up on appeal? Was it remanded and there was a later case decision? All of that will be listed when you go to the history of the case. You do have different ways to display this. One of them is more like a chart. This is just a straight lineal progression of the case, and this is the way that I prefer to look at it, but you might have a different idea. One thing that Shepards does very well is they will tell you exactly which case decision you're looking at this point. We are at the number 1 case, Damon versus State. That was the citation you Shepardized, the one that we've been looking at. But then that was denied review in a later case, and it gives you the cite to that. Just some things to remember. You can also Shepardize secondary sources, for example, statutes. and see how those have been used and how they've been affected by later laws or later cases. You can Shepardize very quickly by typing the letters SHEP and then a case citation, and that will take you directly to the Shepards for that case. And the most important thing, always check a case before you use it as authority. You don't want to show up in court or write a brief or write a memo with a case that's been overruled or reversed, and Shepards will keep you from doing that. This has been a really brief introduction to using Shepards on Lexis. If you have any questions at all about using Shepards, or if you have any research questions at all, please reach out to us. We're at lawrefgp@law.stetson.edu. You can give us a call at 562-7821, and you can always stop by the reference desk or pop into our offices in the reference room. We're glad to help and we love to see you. Thank you.